The West Indies end their World Cup on a high, overcoming Afghanistan to get their second win of the World Cup. But do they need to come back to earth with India touring the West Indies soon? Now the West Indies got their second win, which was their consolation win in this World Cup, overcoming Afghanistan by 23 runs. Now, they started off well with their batting, scoring 311. We had good knocks from Shea Hope, Evan Lewis, Nicholas Pooran, who has been consistent for the West Indies in this tournament, and as well as Jason Holder with the bat. Now, Hope and Lewis started off proceedings for the West Indies, but it was a partnership of Pooran and Holder which put on a 105-run partnership that pushed the West Indies to that score, which was very competitive. A good bowling outing by Carlos Brathwaite and Kemar Roach restricted the Afghanistan side to 288, giving the West Indies this vital win in their morale. Even though he didn't contribute with the bat, Chris Gayle would be happy to end this World Cup on a high, seeing that this will be his last World Cup, and for the foreseeable future we don't know if he will even play for the tour. I take this time to congratulate the world boss, well, the universe boss, on his great performances as well as his star-studded career throughout the years. He has entertained many and has brought joy to a lot of West Indian fans as well as cricket fans in general. So kudos to you, Chris Gayle. Now, even though the West Indies crashed out of the World Cup quite early, they had a few solid performances by their team. Now, the most consistent batsman for them was Nicholas Pooran, and it showed with him being selected for the Writers' 11 of the World Cup, being the number 6 batsman. Now, he wouldn't be the only wicketkeeper there, seeing that they had Alex Carey, but to know that this young West Indian has made the team of the tournament is a good sign for the future. Now, mentioning the future, I took it upon myself to highlight some of the issues which the West Indies may need to address within the coming days, months, and even years, if they would like to reclaim that number 1 status in the world in all formats. The first issue I would like to touch on is their fielding. Yes, we have athletic men in our team. Guys who could run from boundary to boundary with adverse speed, could pick up a ball and whip it into the wicket. But how consistently have we done this? How consistently have we taken the catches? And these catches turn out to be match and game-changing catches. So, as they say, catches win matches. So I believe that the West Indies need to focus heavily on their fielding if they want to be one of the top teams in the world. Another facet of the game that I feel the West Indies need to work on is their adaptability to tactics. Yes, you come into a game with one tactic. Well, we saw that they went into many games with this one tactic of bowling short to batsmen, but after a while on different pitches you realize this tactic did not work. So I believe that they should have a better thinking pool of brainstorming ideas and strategies to see how best they could figure out the right tactics on the day. And even during a match, the tactics can change because the pitch changes over time. So this is something that the West Indies need to focus on. I don't know if they need to do more research on the ground itself, the players individually, and try to see how best they could focus more and be willing to change their tactics and not just be a one-trick pony. Now, this point may be not really factual, it's just causing speculation, but there's discussions that the coaching staff may change. There may be a return of Phil Simmons. Yes, that coach who brought us the last World Cup T20 title and also started the trend of the West Indies actually making strides in the Test arena. Now, he's currently with the Afghanistan team as their head coach, but from reports they have indicated that there is some disruptions and some miscommunication with him and the board. So there is a small window in which he can opt out of that deal and slide into the West Indies. But that's beyond my decision. That is where the board comes in, and you'll see that decision comes true. And may I even suggest looking into having Courtney Walsh or even Curtly Ambrose come back as the bowling coach to focus on these bowlers, because we have a talented group of fast bowlers. It's just the application and the execution needs to be worked on. Going back to the on-field aspect of the game, we look to be more consistent with the batting and the bowling. So I think the more adaptability and the changes with the coaching will actually help with the bowling aspect. But when it comes to the batting, I try to see what is the issue. We have a lot of talented players who can play shots along the ground, in the air, 360. But I don't know if their mindset, their psychological state is hampering them from pushing on to making bigger scores or being consistent throughout. Maybe an employment of a psychiatrist, or maybe the team does have a counselor, could help these players individually figure out what works for them and what doesn't work for them, and so they could see how they could develop their game so they could be more consistent throughout the year. Now, this aspect of the game is where it leans more on the captain as well as the vice captain. We can also say the senior players and the coaching staff. I think that the West Indies are a reactive fielding team, that they only put field placements in place when certain situations arise out of misfortune or such. I believe they should be more aggressive in their field placement. Put in a short leg, you are employing the short ball, put in a short leg, see if you have a leg gully. Try to see if these things can work out these wickets that you need. Try to be more aggressive in the field. Don't wait and allow for something to happen. See to it that your plans are being put in place, the bowlers are executing the plans, and the result is favourable. And lastly, the last point I will touch on is something that might be a little biased to me, seeing that I have a little experience in this background. I believe that the West Indies need a genuine spinner. We had the likes of Sunil Narine. Now, Devendra Bishu has served us well for some time, but his consistency is a worry. But the West Indies should be looking out at least one genuine spin bowler. On the team that they carried to the World Cup, they had Ashley Nurse, who is a restrictor more than a wicket taker, and Fabian Allen, who does the same as well, could get through those overs quickly. But we need a genuinely wicket-taking spinner. Now, I know there's a lot of camps in place right now across the Caribbean, as well as in Antigua, where they're looking for the next big thing. So hopefully, a star will arise amongst those. So next, the West Indies look to take on India in the tour, which starts in August. They have some time to recuperate, cool their brain after the World Cup, get over that World Cup hangover, and look to see how best they can make a standing statement against the India team. Will they bounce back like how England did after 2015 and reshuffle their whole lineup, and it has paid dividends for them? We'll have to wait and see.